Hi, this is Book in the Tube. Today I want to show you how to fix this error. When you try to open your Premium Pro, you get this error saying Quadro FX 1800 is not compatible. And if you go and try to install the driver as it says here, it might not fix the issue. So what I'm gonna do is to update my graphic card. So I bought another graphic card and I'm gonna show you how to remove your old graphic card and put a new one. Let's continue. So this is the graphic card I got. It is GeForce GTX 1060. It is 6 GB. It also got a 3 GB version. So let's see how this will work on my Dell T3500. So this is my Dell PC. After unplugging everything, touch the back, the metallic back, so all the static will come out of our hands. Then we just open it like that, put it to its back. This is where the graphic card sits. First we need to take this out by pressing this to side. It opens like that. Same time I'm opening this graphic card. What is this? They've sent me something empty. So this is the actual size of the graphic card. This is the inside. So after removing the cap, now we can take the existing graphic card out. You just need to pull it carefully. So there is a clip behind. You need to untick that clip to be able to remove it. That's important. So this graphic card needs 2 slots, so we need to remove one more of these. That was easy. It went easily in. I think putting it in was easier than taking it out, to be frank. The clip in this corner is kind of important to remove. Don't just keep pulling it. And there is a power, we need a power cable for this kind of graphic card coming from the power supply. So this is the power supply. There is a cable coming out from it. So we need to connect that cable to our graphic card. Once it's connected, it makes a nice sound. Put the cable down. We just close this part. Make sure it's secured. Time to put the casing back. With Dell, you need to first put the bottom and then the top. Put it back upside. Now it's ready to connect it back to the power. Putting it back to my room, and let's click this start and let's see how it will react. These are the lights. I'm so nervous. Hopefully it will work. You never know with these kind of things, guys. You put them in and your system might stop working altogether. Many times I connect something and a lot of other stuffs start working. But we can see some good signs here. That is Windows 10 symbol and this rotating strange thing that Windows has developed. So after the computer started, we need to go to this website. You can see the graphic looks so horrible after installing because the drivers are not installed yet. So we need to go to www.geforce.com/yes drivers. Come on, yes drivers. So we are here. We are in geforce.com/drivers. We can do manual search or we can go with the automatic one. So we're gonna go and download the automatic one. Just save it somewhere. It was a big file. So we just double click on it to run it. Or you can go to the folder where it's downloaded and double click on that. Say yes. Here it is. As always, read this carefully and then click on agree and install. Some highlights, close that. It asks to log in. Let's see what happens if I close this. So you can't do anything unless you don't log in. So let's try to log in then. After a lot of hard work, I was finally able to log in. Privacy settings. So you got two options here, whether you want to share your information so that they could send you some advertisements or to fix some bugs. For now, I would say no, and I will just continue. Just click on continue. Okay, there is this symbol appear, GeForce Game Ready drivers available. So click on that. Okay, you can close that. Something is getting installed here. To be frank, I need a studio driver, so I will select this one and I will click on download. Yeah, that's what I want for studio, not for gaming. That means Premiere Pro and stuff like that. Photoshop, Premiere Pro, whether you use for 3D modeling. So you need to go for NVIDIA studio driver, not gaming driver. So there are two different types of drivers. It's a massive driver. It's almost half a gigabyte. We're almost there now. Preparing package. So now we got two options, Express or Custom. Let's see Custom. Preparing to install. Well, it gives us this checkbox. If you go with Custom, you could choose between these. I think I like both. I also would like to perform a clean installation. I always like clean installation. Just let's check that as well. So in the custom installation, you get these two options as well as perform a clean installation with that check. And then I click on install. You can see here is uninstalling my previous one, which is useless because it was another graphic card. So it shouldn't be there in the first place. So I end up uninstalling NVIDIA Physics X system, which is used for physical motion in games, which I don't use, and those games should use this software so that this would be usable, otherwise it's useless. So I end up uninstalling it, as well as the audio driver, which means that you can connect an HDMI cable to your graphic card and use the audio capability of your graphic card. But if you're not connecting any HDMI cable to your graphic card to connect to your speaker or some of the audio devices, you don't need it. So you can uncheck that as well. So now you can see the graphic has changed completely. Things are more clear. It's because the installation is complete now. So we can easily close this and just close that. Basically, it is done. The graphic card is installed. Both of my monitors are now working. And what you can do to make things completely complete is to restart your computer now. So now everything is complete. Let's go where we started and turn on the Premiere Pro and see whether it will work. As you can see, it's been loaded without any errors whatsoever this time. So after Premiere Pro is started, you can still see that it's red. This is Bhupinder, and it's not playing as good. What you got to do to fix this is to go to File, go to Project Settings, go to General. Here under General you see Video Rendering and Playback. You need to change this Mercury Playback Engine Software Only to Mercury Playback Engine GPU Acceleration, CUDA. This is really important to do. And then click OK. And you can see the red now is changed to yellow. That means Premiere Pro finds it easier to render your video by using the recently installed graphic card. So yes, installing graphic card alone doesn't help. You need to change this setting as well to take the advantage of the full potential of your graphic card. So next thing we need to do is to go and download CUDA Toolkit 10.2. You can find the link in the description of this video. Sometimes you might still face lagging in Premiere Pro or other application that you're running. So installing this toolkit can help prevent lagging. I've already found the web page. Just type in CUDA download, then opens, then select your operating system. For me is Windows. Architecture is just one. Then whether you want a network version or a local, I go with local. And it's quite a big file, 2.6 GB. So if you click on download, select a place and download, I'm sure it will take some time for it to finish the download, so I'll move this forward. This is a download application, so double click on it. So select a folder to install it. After downloading, the installer is extracting to your computer. That's interesting. Just after the extraction, the installation will start. Something is happening here. It's checking for system compatibility. So now again, we need to, after the system check is complete, now we need to agree and continue. We got two options. I'll go with Express this time. It will be okay. Next. Then we press next. So you can launch any one of them, but we don't have to, so we can just close this now. Well, this is the end of the video. As you saw, I set it up onto the computer. I shown you how I downloaded the driver and it's all working now. Works brilliantly. I resolved the problem with the Premium Pro. So this is the graphic card that I used. Once more, I want to show you the company is Inno 3D. Obviously the type of graphic card is NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 and it got 6 GB RAM. So I hope this video was useful. If it was, please don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you in my next video. If you want to upgrade your computer, I got a playlist of how you can upgrade each and every component of your computer. I find upgrading computer the cheapest way of getting a better performance rather than going and buying a whole computer. So just find out what's your bottleneck in your computer. It could be your CPU, it could be your RAM, it could be your graphic cards, it could be your hard disks, it could be your power supply, it could be any of them, it could be even your motherboard. So find out which is your bottleneck and then try to upgrade that rather than going and buying a whole new computer, because a whole new computer these days are made with average components. If you want to get a high-end component, it can cost you thousands. I mean, graphic cards can cost you £4,000. This graphic card was, I was lucky, it was around £156. I got this. Yeah, please put a thumbs up and I hope to see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Ciao.